All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. What a great way to end this week. Hope your ports are nice and green. And we had a great week, certainly here in TRT. So, a couple of things before we get started, and we'll talk about what's ahead next week and the week after, and we'll go into the charts. If you guys remember, just yesterday, Harker and Jefferson made some comments about pausing in June. Okay. So I think that's a major part of the reversal that we've seen over the last 2 days. And in addition to that, the debt limit law has been, put on Biden's desk. I think it'll be signed either today or tomorrow or over the weekend. So if you remember the first part of the week when we started red, this particular futures rates was pricing in another rate hike in June. All right. The next Fed meeting is going to be June 13th and the 14th, and they'll announce their decision that day. So now we just completely flip-flopped over the last couple of days. Now it's 71% chance of a pause in June. Okay. And so that's getting the market really excited over the last couple of days, and we saw that in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq as well. So 71% chance of a rate pause going into June's meeting. All right. As far as what we're looking forward to and what the market will likely look forward to over the next several trading sessions, maybe latter part of next week, is of course the CPI. The next headline CPI comes out on June the 13th, the day the Fed starts meeting. Okay. And you can bet that they're going to consider that CPI data as well. All right. So as we go into next week, since we had a tremendous run over the last 2 days, I would exercise a little bit more caution as we might start chopping around or trading within the range until that rate decision comes out over the course, of course, on June the 14th. So no big data coming out next week or earth-shattering data next week. And no big earnings, all right, from major companies or major cap or large cap stocks. Okay, it's just some small cap stocks. However, let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's just talk about SPY real quick on the daily here. So important, milestone. We've been looking forward to 425 on the S&P 500 for SPY for the last month or so. And it finally came to fruition today. We closed yesterday at 422, gapped up this morning, and we hit about 428.50s before pulling back here. Nothing bearish on these charts. Very good volume too over the last 2 days. It is a short week, and of course, traders are Wall Street's already headed out for the weekend. All right, but your MACD has turned up on the green side on the daily as well. So a couple of things to look forward to now that we've accomplished that 425. Well, I mean, we are technically speaking, we are overbought. All right. But the momentum is certainly there. And I do expect some type of pullback in midweek, probably after Monday, Tuesday, right? Maybe we get a 3 white soldier pattern, all right, into 430. And 430 is going to be that psychological resistance coming up. And that's also the August highs. If you guys are looking at the charts here, August highs in August 2022, we hit about 431 during that time frame, and we fell dramatically over the next 2 months in a very short amount of time back to 348. Okay, so this was a major drawdown in the S&P 500. But if we can actually cross over 430 or even close above 430 next week, would certainly be a lot more bullish. In addition to that, just so you know, I'm raising my target for SPY by end of the year to be about 440 to 450. Okay, this is a bull market. All right, I'm going to just come out and say it. It's a bull market. This is the type of market where generational wealth can be made. I wouldn't be fighting this trend at this point. I would be buying the dips. I would, certainly. All right, and your large cap stocks, etc. I'm not saying like, hey, we're just going to go straight up to 440 from here. There's going to be dips. There's going to be sideways action. There's going to be chop days. But this is a great opportunity, you guys, because if you look at the monthly chart, I've been talking about this month. We were counting on the fact that we were going to close the month of May okay, above the SMA 20. All right, and we did, And it wasn't a big move above the SMA 20, but now we're in June. All right, we're trending so far nicely above that SMA 20. If you look at what happened during COVID times, all right, the first candle that popped over the SMA 20 was April 2020. Okay, and look what happened the subsequent months after that. It just kind of trended with the 90 EMA. And of course, we fell into bear market or the top of the market at 478. All right. And so we're about 50 points from there. But anyway, so that's my opinion. I do think we are in a new bull market, especially from a technical definition of a bull market is 20% from the lows. And the SPY is certainly there, and NASDAQ is certainly there as well. All right. So, so once again, for like an end of year target, I'm going to say we're going to end up somewhere along here, 437. And this would be your October lows trend line. All right. From October lows, 2022. And getting over this line here, the blue and the pink line where it intersects, that's going to be big. That's going to be the area. So I'm going to put that as my target for this coming summer. All right, for as we head into the summer months. All right, on the weekly side, nothing to be bearish about here. Actually, if you look at what happened this week, the SPY, S&P 500 index, actually outperformed the NASDAQ. All right, we all know that the chip stocks, and I'm going to issue a warning on chip stocks here. Your Apple, all your major large FANG companies have ran significantly over the last several weeks. Okay, so you have there's a better gain on the S&P 500, and probably more so in the next several weeks than there is in the Qs. All right, if we hop over to the Qs weekly, okay. The Qs weekly, the volume is a little bit lower this week. Now that is going to be a hanging man structure. Okay. Your chip stocks, the chip stocks that's been running like crazy, 20, 30%, NVIDIA, AMD, et cetera, those are starting to lose steam if you haven't noticed. Okay. So once that lose steam, your Qs are going to start losing, your NASDAQ stocks are going to lose steam as well. So you got a hanging man structure. Once again, it did hold and it did gain, but it just wasn't as significant as the S&P 500. So your MACD is turned up on the weekly here as well. So a little bit more cautious on your tech stocks going into the next week here, except for Apple. Okay, Apple has a Worldwide Developer Conference starting next week. And it is expected that they'll be talking about AI, number one. And number two, they should be they're developing this platform for augmented reality device. Okay, these goggles, I guess, right? And I don't think that product comes out for another couple of years, but they'll be talking about it. So if there's some excitement, some new products, all right, new revenue sources for Apple, guess what, folks? Apple crossed over this rising wedge, all right, this week. Every bear, try to short it here, but hey, we popped over the wedge and we tested that wedge trend line and held on the same day. Look at that, all right? Now, that, my friend, is a doji. So that daily right there isn't that great, but it is doji. It is a little indecision at this point. So we'll see how Apple performs, next week. So, all right. So that's your major stocks. Now, I'm going to go over to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been chopping around here. You got a huge, monstrous gap here at 306. Okay. If you look at how NVIDIA ended this week, was a spinning top. Okay. That's a bearish spinning top candle. So you got to exercise a little bit more caution. It is absolutely way more extended. Am I saying go short it right now? No. I'm just saying there are shorting opportunities throughout the day for NVIDIA as it starts to weaken out. You look at what happened with AMD, who ran sympathy with NVIDIA. All right. That is a bearish candle. Full on, did not even make an attempt to bounce today at all with the market. All right. So it closed at its lows. Okay. You look at, let's say, Marvell, okay, another beneficiary of the AI hype. And that's a red week for Marvell. And let's say, even TSM lost a good chunk of its gains from the week prior. So that's my warning on the Nvidia stocks and the chip stocks. But the SPY looks really good too. In addition to that, the oil, okay, crude oil is up big this week or this Friday. If you look at XLE, all right, nice bullish candle on the energy sector. Okay, so that's going to help lift up SPY. And you can see that this, at least today, it really boosted SPY's performance over the Qs. All right. Headed into next week, I'll do some more research. All right. We'll find some cool stocks to play options on. I think a big winner this week for us was Disney. Okay. Not so much the SPYs, but Disney. All right. We got in yesterday. We swung some calls overnight. All right. We bought those calls at $88. And Disney ran up to about $91. So they crossed the 9 and 15 EMA, but just closed shy of it. So it is now crossing into prior support. So if Disney continues to have some follow through next week, I think there's another opportunity for Disney. All right. Next is Nike. We are on Nike at this point. I'm holding calls over the weekend. Beautiful gap up. And this was a lot of this move was due to Lulu, right? Lululemon. They beat earnings. Stock is up 50, 60 bucks, 10%, et cetera, or 10, 12%. So Nike also gapped up in the morning. We do have a gap below, so I would be a little bit more careful. And we stopped shy of that 9 EMA daily. But I mean, the volume, the selling volume is dying out. Okay. Again, we talked about this on the video yesterday, lower low in price, yet the MACD is trying to curl here. Okay. So with that being said, I think we had a fantastic week, ladies and gentlemen. Count your blessings this weekend. Get some rest. We'll be back at it Monday.